Yeah, very pleasant morning, one and all. I'm Karthi, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechatronics. So today we are going to see how we are going to install the Hadoop installation and what are the types of installation modes that we are going to use for installing the Hadoop. So the Hadoop installation modes is very crucial for managing the automation data that can be run in three different modes depending on how you want to test, develop or deploy a big data applications. Let's dive into the topic. And before installing the Hadoop, we want to know what is the Apache Hadoop and what is a Hadoop. A Hadoop is an open source framework that is used for distributing the processing data that we are going to use for the futuristic purpose to predict what we are going to achieve for the future purpose. And also, it is used to handling a large types of data sets that may be useful for analyzing the data through multiple resources to fetch the data. And why we are using the Hadoop? And why we are using the Hadoop is nothing but it will addresses the big data challenges through a map producing program and also to manage a huge volume and also the characters of big data like volume, velocity, veracity, value, like that. And major components that we are going to use in the Hadoop is that we have HDF for storage and MapReduce for processing and yarn for resources that we have to useful for the data analytics purpose. That the Hadoop managers can be the Hadoop can able to manages the data from the IoTs, sensors, and the robotic system in the automation context. So, Hadoop installation modes. There are three Hadoop installation modes like local mode, pseudo distributed mode, and a fully distributed mode. The pseudo distributed mode is ideal for simulating a cluster environment on a single machine. That a single machine can able to simulate a cluster environment for the fetching the data. And local mode is suitable for testing and developing of a single machine. A single machine can be undergone for testing and developing that can be done through the local mode. And for the fully distributed mode, it is suitable for the best production environment with multiple nodes. Multiple node means there will be a numerous number of inputs and outputs for the fetching the input data for the data analytic purpose. So thus such each mode serves distinct development and deployment needs complexity that increases with the scalability for the futuristic purpose for the data analytics process. So followed by the local mode. That local mode is used for testing, debugging, and learning. So the major environment we are using is that will be self-sufficient, that will be locally environment to the user, and it will be more effective and it is more reliable on the installation mode. So everything runs using the local file system, so there will be no need for any cluster configuration, so that it may be more self-sufficient. That will be the core principle of the independent operation. And then the localized environment, that is for context for task processing, is more reliable on this approach. So coming to that characteristics, it will be the fast and simple, and there will be no HDFS required, and it for good only for a small scale testing, not for a large scale data. Uses the local file system for fetching the data and processing the data. And followed by the key standards of the local stand mode is simplicity, debugging, and data source that we have discussed. The data source management is the seamless data handling, allowing us allowing the users to manage the data effectively. And also the debugging the data, which indicate provides tools for identifying and resolving the issues, ensuring a smooth experience of the tool what we are going to use. And the resource usage, that will be optimizing the system. That resource usage ensures the efficient operation that will be easily uh, easily without any default. So simplicity is simplifies the system and also to use to navigate the data analytics process to eradicate the any difficulties what we are going to face while fetching the data. For example, we can run out a word count on a small text file on your personal machine to see it in action, it will be take a few milliseconds of time. Whether we can use a pseudo distributed mode to fetch the data for a large scale of data. Thank you. In next class, we are going to see about the pseudo distributed mode and the